than I was yesterday. Yesterday I didn't feel the greatest. I decided, made the call, I needed to rest. You know, we did everything yesterday that I wasn't planning to go here, there, and everywhere, but we did. And then by the time I got home, I thought, I am just not feeling the greatest. I need to just go home and go to bed. And that's exactly what I did. Well, when you get a chance, if you can turn the overhead light on. Um, yeah. So I'm going to show you a couple things and I'm going to rearrange it so that you guys are down. If y'all haven't figured out, I want it back to winter again. It's too hot. My mother's like, no. And I'm like, yes, please. Um, so hold on a second. I kind of got to get you move this way. And I just went live because I'm like, we're not fooling. I do that. I'm learning. I gotta hold on to this little thing before I bring you all down. But that's learning in thing. All right, this is what we were working on. Okay. And I just want to really state this real quick so people know. This is a work in progress. Okay, we're learning this. This is a work in progress to some degree. I'm going to turn you this way so you guys can see it from this direction. And you're not looking down. Even put a cup so I could find my stuff. But I'm learning. Okay, good. That's we may have to put this just so anyway, I'm learning. I haven't put my fan on yet. Oh, don't. I may need it in a minute, but we're learning. You know, gotta rearrange it. Now I'll talk in a second. I find got a cup so I don't misplace those little pieces. I keep doing that to keep misplacing little pieces. Okay. So people know that's not gonna work. Well, I can fix that in a minute. What's in my drink cup. I'll learn my setup in a second in a little bit here once I get used to all this stuff. What's in my drink cup? It is kale and apple, spinach, uh, kale and apple, orange, pineapple, and blueberry. A little bit of blueberry. That's what's in my juice cup. So let that get happy. People don't know what we're doing. This was our first one. This is what we're doing here. And I am still learning. We're still learning about patterns, what doesn't work, what does work, and all that kind of good stuff. Get my fan going because it just gets really warm into this little space and there's no air. And why they didn't put a fan above me, I don't know. Would have been awful nice. Okay. Let me get my other computer going so that I can do things and then I'll explain as people are coming on it. If you're in here, say hi. Hopefully I'm live and y'all can see me. Anyway, this is the first one we did. Okay, let's break this down. This is the first one. I ran into difficulties with it very quickly because I realized that the bubble letters are going to be a problem. That I don't quite know what I'm doing and I'm learning and all that kind of good stuff. So because we're learning, okay, we just have to learn as we go. That's exactly what we're doing. You guys are knocking it out of the park with the watch hours. Keep doing that. Really find it finding it helpful. But this is kind of why we're going to be doing a lot of doing it and probably redoing patterns over again, because um, this is somewhat of kind of learning what works so that we can get it nailed down for patterns and so forth to put on there. I don't want to put patterns on the fourth wall store that are going to frustrate you. That's no fun for me. That's no fun for you. So this is the first one we did. I still may finish this. I may not. I just don't know yet. Kind of one of the one problem that I ran into when I was doing this was this part. I didn't realize that I needed to actually break this bee up to make it work. And that was the first issue. And I'm like, well, then there's going to be problems and so forth. So then I thought, well, this is really easy. I'll just take it and make these letters. And so I redid it on Sunday or Saturday. No, Sunday. I wasn't up to going live Sunday. And I thought, great, we'll do it Sunday and then we'll be ready to go live tomorrow. And it just never happened. So then I made these more of a block letter. Um, kind of liking this one a little bit better than I like the other one, but I'm still not totally happy with it. And I'll explain why. I think it's going to be, we're going to finish it, but it's going to kind of be a pain in the neck to work on in more ways than one. Sorry about that. And got in the way. Okay. So then I started thinking in this frame, it's just full of different stuff. And this is kind of what I came up with in a sense. First of all, I got this at Walmart. It's just a blessed little sign. And I figured it's about 2 inches. It's almost 2 inches. You could take this and actually take this strip here and do a 2-inch block that would run a line here and a line here. You could paint this, you could put fabric on it, you could take napkin and put it on it, and then you can take like a fire thing that you light candles with and be able to, get the holes out very easily that way. But you could take this and then I thought, well, if you made like a line here and put a piece of solid fabric all the way through, you could be able to place this here, right in the middle, and that would look awesome too as well. I like this idea. It was just one. I think this cost me $1.90 at Lowe's or Walmart. So I got it just to show you all. Hi, Faye. It's nighttime there. Well, it's not nighttime yet. Not here yet. It's not. So then I thought about this. This is our original pattern. So people know what it was. This was the original one. So then my brain started going. And this is kind of what I thought of afterwards. And this is probably what I'm going to probably lean towards a little bit more is I'm going to order Amazon letters, be alphabet block letters. And eventually we can also, hi Sandy, we can also cut them out of our Cricut and make wood letters. The thing about the wood letters is you could take Mod Podge and glue fabric very easily to the wood letters. You can take boss wood and be able to cut them out of your Cricut, and then be able to just put the fabric on with what is it? I can't remember what it, or with just Mod Podge, and then let it set for 24 hours, and then go ahead and cut around it and so forth, and make it all work. You can use a napkin, whatever you wanted to do. You could paint the letters if you wanted to, whatever you want to do. But this is kind of my sense of something here is to kind of have this, and it'll just take me because I can't order the letters till next month. We are going to finish this. But having the word blessed in some kind of letters. I think that if we're going to do letters, it needs to be something like this so that it would be, do I like Michael Jackson? Some of his songs I do. Some of them. I'm more of an Elvis Presley fan. But some of his songs I do. So to me, that this would be more of the pattern with using like wood letters. You can even print on fabric. That's something to think of. But of course, I want it to be, I've got a measuring stick here. The thing is with this being able to, and I'm just hand drawing this right now, to be able, I've tried to do it on Canva and I just need to sit with it longer, is kind of taking this and where if I did something like this with letters, of course I'd have to get them and see what they were. Being able to make it so that people would have some kind of way of being able to know exactly where to place them if they got a kit. Um, where there would kind of be little nudge. And I've seen people do this with uh they're doing it with glitter and all different kind of stuff too. So kind of something like this. And I need to sit better and do it. But anyway, kind of like this. Wish my pen doesn't want to work. Get it going. Okay, kind of like this. I just wanted to show you, you can freehand some of these patterns. This is not very good right now, for sure. And then being able to, I think I had it on the thing where you're kind of curving up, where like where this is here. And I'd have to sit with the Canva a little bit more because that's where you're going to get your accurate things, is to be able to kind of bring this to kind of go like this, and then take another one and kind of go like this. And wherever this is center wise, which makes why using Canva so easily, but you could freehand this too as well, is kind of like this. I just wanted to kind of show you, so I pulled it out real quick. Um, kind of similar to kind of this, where people would kind of, that's not where I wanted to put that. You kind of get the idea. And like this, right? It's not exact how I want it, but anyway. And making it one more to kind of go like this, one more to kind of go like this, maybe even putting another half in there. I don't know yet. I know it's not a very, I don't draw very good, if you all notice, right? And then being able to take this, I just have to sit with it on the Canva, and I just didn't have patience for it tonight. Kind of taking this and just making sure that these line up, and then making sure that this lines up, right? Okay. And that one goes as far as that. And the same on this side, taking this and making sure that this lines up, so that if I did offer wood letters, people would know exactly where that they needed to put the wood letters according to the pattern. Something like that. It's not very accurate right now, and I think that's the way to do it. But um, anyway, doing something like that, which would mean the wood letters would be here, and that's kind of what I've done, which is similar to what this pattern is. It's just a little bit easier, and I think it will be easier. Again, just thoughts and stuff going through the set of mine. I really like this too as well, and I'll probably do another one. And where this could just go in the middle, but kind of maybe more along that lines. I don't know. Maybe I'll print it out again and we'll do it with just putting this in the middle and painting this and just putting this down. I think this would look good too, because it would look raised. It would look really cool to be able to put something like this. So don't, think somewhat out of the box. Again, I'm learning a lot as I do this, what things work, what things don't work. And that I would encourage you to do the same thing, um, because that's part of learning. Don't stop yourself and sit there and go, okay. Hi, Ethera. Welcome on in. Hi, Resonating. Welcome on in. You guys can put hashtag check, hashtag blessed in the chat. Hi, Shelly. Welcome on in. So it's easy to kind of sit there in your head thinking, I'm not that good. I'm going to kind of give up. I'm not giving up. What?
Nicole's here for Mocha.
Oh, Mom, Nicole's here for Mocha, our dog walker. So I'm not I'm learning as we do this. Mom, I didn't know if you heard me. Our lovely neighbor comes from walks Mocha for us. So I'm learning. She may not come this way. You may have to unplug that. If you have to unplug it from anyway. Um, so this, it's easy to sit here and say, okay, I'm not that great. I'm going to walk away. But that wouldn't make me very good, would it? I've only done this is only my second time. I'm Lucas getting next to me. That's smoke.
Hey.
And our dog walker is here and he gets really excited at anybody at the door. So anyway, I'm learning how, and by the way, this art form is done with fabric and with a seam ripper. This is done with, if people are new coming in, this is insulated 1-inch insulated board. This is 3M sticks. So first you print out the pattern or you hand free the pattern, and then you go ahead and you take a cutting tool, which is this cutting tool. This is the one that I found the best to use so far. It was so recommended. I will put the list. Some of it is affiliate links. So Mama is an Amazon affiliate. She's really excited, guys. She is like, she gets so excited. So excited. So you use a seam ripper, and it's called Kinusaiga is the way it's done. I think my problem is going to be all these little spaces. Not that it's impossible. It's just going to take time to do them. I may still end up with this, but I really kind of like possibly using this in the middle and just doing like a straight line, or being able to do wood letters in the middle and put fabric on it or something to make it a little easier. But it's something I'm going to finish this. I still may finish the other one that had the bubble letters just because it's already there. It will just be extra practice because it is a technique. You are learning how to press and how to tuck your fabric and how to cut and which way to cut and all. It's all learning right now as we go. And I don't quite know where this is going to take us, but it's going to take us somewhere that I know. Another thing, real quick, is I was trying to be savvy and not waste any of this 3M little pieces of paper. So I ended up using like 3 pieces. I would not recommend that for anybody that's new at this because it became very confusing for me to try to figure out, oh, is this part of that or that? I would use one solid piece until you got the hang of it. I would not use 2 separate pieces because it really somewhat became confusing. Is this an actual cut that I've made into the material, into the foam? Or is it actual like the cut of the 2 separate materials? That's the first thing. Second of all, you do not use styrofoam. You are looking for the Pink Panther material is what you're looking for, which is polystyrene. So that's something else. We decided to do the solid. Another thing I figured out on this pattern is I kind of did it with the D is I made 4 cuts, all of them down the side where I got to take that middle part out. And that's what I should have done here. If I did this and was going to keep it and it actually turns halfway decent, then I'll go ahead and make that little correction and go ahead and put this here. I'd also just go ahead and make a straight cut across, and I would make the moon much more rounded and just again do the straight cut using these similar letters, but making the straight cut across so it would just be even. So if I do keep this when we're done, there's going to be corrections. And I think another thing that I would do, this is a 9x6, is I would spread out the letters just a little bit. That's another thing. So there are things I'm learning if I go ahead and keep it, but we're going to finish it. And then I'll see, well, but I still like, and it's just an idea if you didn't want to cut all the letters out, to be able to just go to Walmart and get blessed, be able to go to Home Depot, order 2-inch letters or 1.5-inch letters from Amazon, or go to Hobby Lobby and get letters and put it in the middle of there too as well. So we had decided on plain for this, plain fabric for this, and then decorative fabric for the outside. So I'm going to start off slow today and work on the way outside in. Um, uh, and so forth today. I'm dealing with allergies is what I think it is, and I'm just kind of not feeling. I'm just kind of really tired, and I'm kind of here. I'm here, and I'm like I got to come live, and I want to work on this, but I'm just I'm just kind of taking it easy and try. I don't want to. I've got something special on Friday. My nails still look good, so I'm hoping they stay there until Friday, looking as good, and then they can get all messed up. I'd love to keep my nails going. I just unfortunately cannot. But it's just something special we're doing with our family on Friday. So I'm trying to also rest so I don't wind up not feeling the greatest on Friday. I think it's just allergies, really. So let's work on the top part before. No, I think. I don't know. Let's work on the top part. Let's get this part done and this part. I don't think I'm into words today. I don't think I have the patience for that today. So I'm going to kind of hold off on that. I don't think I'm going to be on here too long. I rested yesterday, but I'm still pretty just tired today. So we shall see where we land up. Let's work on this piece. Another little technique that I was taught, and this is one of the reasons why I wouldn't cut your 3M, even though you want to save some of it, save it for maybe putting felt on the back or something else. Don't save it for this. I wouldn't. Is, and it was one of my mods that actually sent it to me and said, oh, do this. So by taking your pieces that you're peeling off as you're sticking, go ahead and take them and save them. Don't just throw them away, save them. And I have a little container for my caps so I don't lose them because they seem to get lost. So I thought I'll just get a container out, stick them in. So then I have to decide what we're kind of doing with that. Got that fabric. I think. No, that can't be that. Did I do that right? Yeah, I did that right. Okay, just have to figure out what we're doing. I've got a lot of fabric, a lot of choices. You need something really kind of settle for not something that's too heavily blue. Yeah, I think I want blue, but I don't want like a real busy pattern either. And that's one thing I like about this is that coming live, you guys get help me choose, which then it becomes somewhat interactive. It's too busy. I wonder if some polka dots would work well, like tiny little polka dots. Just kind of not blah today, but I'm tired. I'm just tired, guys, today. You can tell. I wonder if some spots would work. What are these tiny little? That may work. I don't think that would on that side. It's just too bit. It's got to be like really mild. Can't be busy, busy. So, how is everybody doing today? I'm doing good. I'm just like I said, I'm just tired. No. You know what? Trying to find that's the most challenging is like, what do you put there? See, I was thinking maybe some polka dots. What do you think? because I don't think it'll be busy, but it'll look like, what do you think? Like putting that there. I think that would go because it won't be so. I think that would be pretty on both sides to put the polka dots. Now Sandy Wendy, who is not only a mod but a friend, and I'm very grateful for all her support. She's go follow her channel. Said see if you had your piece of fabric or your thing together, you wouldn't have to do what I'm doing. Put it together, and you guys got to go watch my clip. I woke up Monday. Josh is like, "You won," and I'm like, "What?" And so there's a local shop. I just went on Facebook and put a comment, and I was the winner. And we went there yesterday. And ice cream and sandwiches. Their food was really good, and and so we will be back. So I made them a little short. My soap caddies may even go in. And the one place I did put my soap caddies in a while back, they send checks in the mail when you sell stuff. So got a check in the mail. And we have apparently sold a couple. Yay. So I don't know if I'll get this accurate. I don't think I will. But anyway, by putting your fabric down, that's not going to work. You can take a dirtier color and a cutter. It's not worth it. And even my teeth hurt from my sinuses. That makes any sense. No, I don't think so. I think it's just really allergies. We've kind of had cool weather. And for those people that are praying, people, please pray it doesn't rain on Friday. Don't need it to rain on Friday. No rain on Friday. So anyway, let's do it from this angle. Again, I think this would be easier if I hadn't cut the piece. Another thing that I've learned, I'm going to kind of it's easier when you don't cut the piece. Because I did it. Let's just, is you can make little snips, which I was doing just out of, I don't know if I did it right. If the piece is all together, you can hold it down. And the problem is that little piece is not there, and that's the problem. You also don't want to do it too much or too quick to your edge because flower farm because you're going to rip or fray it. Another thing is that I forgot is that you want to make your piece here because this is going down, extend a little bit over it. So did I do this right? I don't know if I did it right. I don't know if I did it right because I forgot about that little part. Well, we're going to do it this way because I didn't do that right. I didn't do it right. Okay. So you're placing your fabric over the thing. Another thing that I found out too, and I didn't do this long enough, but it'll just sit right there because I didn't do it long enough. That was for sure. I made that mistake. But I've got glue here and I've got some glue, a stick glue. I've been doing it so they come over here. And I think we're going to take this piece out and use it someplace else because I didn't do that right. I've been just laying them down right now, but that's a technique I need to learn. And the problem is that we're going to run in it's gonna run into a problem. Okay. So another thing I learned too was by taking this, and hopefully I've got enough to do this little section here because I don't have any more. I'll have to bandage this one together. It'll kind of go over the edge, kind of a little bit. It may not go in there, but I'll be able to do a little something. I'll be able to touch it. It'll be fine. Is you can make little slits in it, especially when it's a curved piece. And I was doing that before I saw the video that says, oh, thank you. I appreciate you too. Appreciate all our community. And making the little slits into the especially if you're doing curved spots, really does help. And I was doing that actually before I even saw somebody saying that over. It's like this little curve spot. If you make, once we make sure that we are down far enough, that's another thing. Because if you're not, you will create a little bit of fraying and you don't want to see that. I noticed that on my first piece. So you want to make sure you've got enough into your thing that you got enough going in. And I keep my little knife, even though I've cut it, because sometimes I realize I didn't cut enough. And I can go back and just make a little extra cut down there just per thing. And you're taking the back of your seam ripper and just taking it and going down. I'm getting better at this, one little step at a time. Okay. These angle scissors work great. They're on the fabric list. But if you were doing a curve, you could take your little scissors and just cut. And then that will help it get into the curve easier. Okay, well, it's on our link tree. So if you go to our Facebook page or YouTube page, you'll see the link tree and all of the links for it. You'll see, you can just click the link tree and it'll take you right there. And all of them are absolutely there. And I found out like these little edges, you can just tuck your fabric and it will go. And if you see like right here, you're kind of this little corner here, just take your scissors and just snip that edge. And that will get it really in there. And I was finding that out as I was doing it on my own too. And you're just tucking it as you're kind of going through. And that's really all you're doing. The hardest part, I think, of the whole thing is choosing your fabric. What are you going to use? Hi, Peyton. Welcome on in. That's kind of the hardest, is kind of choosing the fabric you want to use. And designs, but also on ST, and I may do some, but on ST they have pre-made designs too as well. We'd like to get in the position of actually making our own designs and putting them up on our merch store, maybe eventually on ST, who knows. So that's why we're going to be doing a lot of practice. I even talked to a gentleman who's doing that video, and I'm like, I could even see classes in my area. And he goes, so can I, because I showed him. He goes, oh my goodness, I gotta see that. So I would absolutely, on the merch store, or Amazon link to these scissors, they are really good because they get really close to getting in there to cut that fabric. Very much, they're very easy to use. Highly, highly recommend the scissors to use. I want to get a seam ripper from Walmart, and I will put that in the Amazon links because Mama's also an affiliate with them. Because I saw one, I want to try out the seam ripper there. Then you just take this. I'm going to cut some of this off in case I need it for something else. I'm saving a little scrap of fabric, yes. And we're just putting it, just take it taut. And this is the back. Doesn't matter what it looks like on the back because you're not going to see it. We're going to cover that out with felt. So, like I said, now we're going to work on the other side. This one isn't. But we're probably going to do several pieces of fabric. I think I'm going to try this one. It may be not long enough, but I don't have another piece of it. So we're going to make do with what we got. So we'll have to, so it's going to, oh, perfect. That'll go right in there. Yay. Again, you're going to take the edge of your seam ripper and you're doing small little things. And And that is truly a technique that I'm learning. I'm learning um, to make clean cuts. That's another thing when you're cutting your foam, making those clean, straight cuts. That's all a technique. It's not just something that comes, but I do keep my little tool. This helps a lot. This is this, and I've got the paper someplace over there. What's this? This is the tool. It was gifted to us, and it is so easy to use. The blades are replaceable, but I keep it out. I keep the thing away from me so I don't cut my finger. But I do keep it out because I have noticed that if I don't cut deep enough into the foam, I need to kind of recut it. This is styrofoam. For those people that are wondering, this is styrofoam. Do not use styrofoam. Styrofoam it is very brittle. It also has air pockets in it, and it's not going to give you very clean lines. So yeah, I did get that as an example because I wanted people to see exactly. And my stuff's melting. We do all our juice and we ice cube it. So there's orange, pineapple, blueberry, and kale in there today. And you got to give some juice to Josh too. Just have it for a couple of days. But it's time for him to have some more juice. But he's the slow one because we're having to learn what we can give him, what he can't have, what he can tolerate, what he can't tolerate. So he just has a very sensitive belly. So we just I'm going to tomorrow get the shout out recaps up. I got that one up, and like I said, I'm not going to be on here too long. I'm feeling better. I'm just really tired, and we had a busy weekend over the weekend, and then yesterday it was like we weren't supposed to be running around, but the gentleman that's doing that commercial for us, he called me up and said, "Oh, can you come get your stuff now? Because I'm done with it." So then we had to go there. Josh was while we were out. He goes, "Oh, let's go get your gift card." And we sat there and then we ate and then came home. Mom was like, "Oh, let's go to the store." It's like, I didn't have to go to the store, but I picked up a couple things. So it was like, I did go to bed early. I was just exhausted. So I'm not going to be on here terribly long because I'm just really tired. It's just fine. It just kind of almost felt like I was coming down with a little bit of a cold the other day. So and again, this is part of learning, I'm learning what I can do, what I can't, how much material to put in place. I mean, this holds a lot, but it's not going to hold all of it either. No, eye painting won't work. Sandy will put it in for you. If you have a problem and you see one of my mods or I'm on and I'm especially like this, I can put it in for you, Peyton. So one of us will take care of you. I promise you. Your community's got you. I promise it. I don't, it just has a problem with yours for some reason. I don't know why it doesn't. You know what I'll do, Peyton? I will make you a code. And then that way, if for some reason Nightbot isn't working for you, I will go ahead and um, go ahead. Hopefully, y'all can still hear me. Hopefully, that didn't do anything. I will go ahead and make it available for my mods to drop. And that way I can just tell them do I painting or exclamation point painting. And then that way it'll be easy for them to drop it or for me to drop it if Nightbot isn't working for you. See what we do? Just for you. I will do that. So it makes it really easy for them in case Nightbot. But try Nightbot first. If it doesn't, we'll get you covered. I promise you. I promise, promise, promise. So she's back. Our wonderful neighbor.
Coach back.
Yeah, mom knows. I'm gonna cut this just. I'm gonna kind of don't want to do that there. She's coming. I'm gonna kind of cut this here. Just make a slit on the back. Sorry. Just so you can tuck it in. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, you too. A wonderful lady, we love her. So there we go. I like that. Yeah, that's good. Now we have to figure out here. And like I said, I'm learning like here, you can take your seam ripper and kind of go underneath. You don't want her doing too much of that. But especially if the dog's running, you don't want them drinking too much water because then their bellies can get extended, especially for bully breeds, especially for them. So it part of this is learning, and you know, it's easy to kind of get discouraged because you want it to look perfect. It's never going to look perfect, but this is where I'm kind of like, okay, this is the tucking technique. This is how much I'm going in. This is how much I need to not go in, and so forth. So it's all part of learning. Right, now we're going to do this. Okay. I like the peak or the polka dots. I cannot think tonight. What do you think? On the side or she can't right behind me. Oh, I had more polka dots. I just found them. Or this. What do you think? That there? Maybe with the little yellow part and the blue. I'm thinking this one. So this is a contender. She's lying on the floor to get cool. She's right behind me. She's lying down there. She wants to get cooled up. Yeah, I'm thinking that would be pretty there. I think that's the one we're gonna go with. Just the flowers having a little like the contrast to the white. I think that's what we're gonna go with. And just like this, I wouldn't recommend anybody doing what I did with trying to conserve the thing. Save it for the back, save it for the sides. You want in now? You little stinker. I know. Mom, she wants in now. Nope, that's see. That's here. Well, she was heading towards her. If you call, she'll come in.
Come here.
Oh boy, you. People make seems like their phone split screen. What I did, and the only way you can do it is you can only go live if you're going if you're using I tried because I thought I'll do camera on my phone. I'll go live together. I'll set up a mobile live and we'll do a live together. You can only do a live together on phones. Okay. So I have my phone here. My phone's here. My mom's phone's here. And I just said, when you go in and you put your thing to say go live together, I said, go live together, clicked over the button. You have to do it while you're setting up the live. And then I went ahead and put go live together. And then I went ahead and sent the link to my Gmail account, texted it to my mom's phone, and then she's on one and I'm on the other. I muted my phone. I turned off the volume on my phone. So the volume's only coming from here, even though I'm still hearing myself over here. So it's not echoing. But that's how you do it is they will not. I was hoping to do it on the laptop. Nope, that's not how you do it. You do it by going and hitting going live together, setting it up through YouTube Studio, and inviting somebody to a live, and then that's how I did it. Is invited it to somebody's lives, invited, to go live together, and then I sent the code to my Gmail. I then copied the code on my phone, and when I was ready to go to the live, and then I just texted it to my mother's phone and went through the procedure of going and accepting her onto the live. So that's the way I had to do it. I was kind of bummed because I was like, I really wanted to use my laptop because then she's without her phone for a little bit. But, we have other phones in the house that I could use, but they're not the greatest quality. Yeah, you can do it through OBS. Because of what I'm doing, I thought, oh, I'll just, do it on my camera and do it through my laptop. But if you're going to hit live together, you have to do it on mobile devices. They're not up to doing that other, which just to me. And here again is your little curve thing. So take your scissors. This is why these are so nice. And just do a snip. And that will divide the fabric and make it easier to place on either side and make it eat better. And you're just, it's kind of like you're hiding the fabric. You're really kind of hiding. That's what you're doing. But having that little slits, which I was starting to kind of do already before I saw the little thing. But I've been watching. I'm really trying to also work on soap caddies because we're going to be doing our event coming up and I have to have soap caddies ready. I've been watching Perfect Strangers. Lost art. Telling you. Lost shows like that. Josh is like, I have a hard time sometimes watching those kind of shows because it reminds me, of those days when the shows were really good. And if it doesn't go down all the way, don't necessarily worry. I mean, you want it to go down, but you can also and you go down with the next layer, I've noticed it'll sometimes even it out. And I'm not terribly tucking this on the back. I'm just kind of tucking. So. All right. So that's that. My lips are really kind of like that on the edge. That looks good. I'm trying to mirror the same things on one side of the other. I'm not doing too bad with it. So I'm probably not going to go live. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. I'm feeling better. I'm just, like I said, I'm really just tired. And I think too, my body's kind of fighting the allergies. And I mean, my sinuses hurt a little bit. My tooth hurts. Teeth hurt over here. Could have something going on here. I think I bit on something and this tooth is sore. I need to go to the dentist soon. I'm not looking forward to that. I don't handle it well. But I'm going to have to go get some work done, unfortunately. Put it off for a long time because there was just, it seemed like one thing after another, after another, after another. So I thought if I go shortly and start getting, I've got like $2,000, I think, on my insurance. So if I go and oops, do the material thing on it. If I wasn't supposed to do that. If I go, be careful if you're trying to cut your material, but you don't actually cut your material. I figure if I go get like 2,000 done this year, then next year I can do 2,000 and just keep getting it till it gets done. Because, but I tend to, well, first of all, Josh has to come with me and they have to allow him just to come back there with me because I don't handle it well. You just don't. When I was young, very young kid, and I was at the dentist office, and I remember, and I think it scarred me for life. It did, and I have trouble when I go lean back. I start having, like, if I'm leaning back and I'm laying flat, I start going into a panic attack, which doesn't help. But it's just part of the fibromyalgia, and everything's so dang on sensitive with that, everything. But anyway, I remember being in the dentist office, literally screaming. I was crying for my mom. And I said, "Can I please have my mom? Can I please have my mom? Can I?" And I was like 5 years old. I mean, I was like 5 years old. And they would not get my mother for nothing. No, we can't let parents back here. Da, 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 da. And I mean, I remember my mother coming and seeing me afterwards. I was just all red faced. Why does she look like that? She goes, "Oh, she wanted you." Oh, my mother had a fit. And forget taking a child with autism back there, let alone when she had her service dog. Nobody wanted to touch her with 10-foot pole. That was terrible. It was horrible trying to find a dentist that would work with an autistic child in South Florida. That was just terrible. Trying to getting her in the dentist with a service dog and allowing me to come back there. And all I wanted was my mom for a few minutes, and they would not get her. And I just remember screaming. I just wanted my mother. And I was, my mother was like, "No." She was like, "No, never again. She wants me, you come get me." My mother was not happy. So I remember going to the dentist by myself, which I never did again. I was driving, and I remember the light was red and I thought it turned green. I literally went through the light. Thank God nothing happened. It was a small intersection. And I literally blacked out on the way there. I was so nervous about going. And it just destroyed me. It was horrible. So I don't handle the dentist well, and I'm fine as long as you'll let me come back. You'll let me have somebody there. I'll deal with it. And then the dentist we went to in Cincinnati, I had a tooth, so I've been chewing a lot on this side all the time. And I had a dentist that they took my wisdom teeth out on the top. They needed my bottom, but I have something over here, so I haven't chewed on the side for a long time. And he was so focused on my gums, but he was the only one around. We were trying to move. I was having my wisdom teeth falling apart, and so that was all happening. And he wouldn't fix this tooth because he was so worried about the dang on gums. Well, if I do the tooth and something happens, they won't cover it for 5 years, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, it's almost been 5 years. You could have fixed the tooth over here and done the crown. And by the time I got around to the dentist, he didn't do it. So I don't know if this tooth up here is acting up or whether I've actually cut it or whether I had something here and it's all in the sinuses. I don't know. Just very sensitive right now. So I'm trying to eat today a lot of soft foods, see what happens, and chewing on it kind of hurts right now. But it doesn't feel like the tooth, it feels like the gum, like I cut my gum or something up there and it just needs time to heal. I don't know. We'll see. I can't do anything about it this week because of what's going on Friday. So we'll just have to I should call up and make an appointment tomorrow. I think that's what I'll do. I'll call up and at least get in because I've never been a patient there. And there's only one place with our insurance that we can go, but they better let my husband back there because it's the only way they're getting me. That's the only thing that I can do is he's got to be back there because I go into just it made it very hard to go to the dentist afterwards. I'm telling you. We kept trying to get Christina. She'll go, but she goes to the dentist, but she wants her mom with her. She'll go locally, but you've all seen us drive down. She'll have me go in there and sit and hold her hand. It's just part of. I have panic attacks, and I've actually sat there thinking there may be a time when they may have to literally have me go in the hospital and put me under in order for me to actually have then anything because I just have I have a terrible gag reflex that does not help and other things. And then with the burn fibromyalgia, it really makes for a heck of a trying to get your stuff done. Josh he needs dentures done. He only has 4 teeth and he actually needs dentures. Trying to get that taken care of I don't have to deal with this flap. So he actually needs to go and have somebody. He needs the dentures, but he needs the ones that snap in. So I'm thankful I've had really good teeth because of my dad. My dad had terrible gums, but great teeth. So I'm glad I've had that. But could deal without the panic attacks that come with. I don't know if anybody else has it, but I just don't like the dentist. I don't think anybody does, but I have really bad anxiety when it comes to it. They used to give me, is it Valium? They used to give me Valium, so I would go with Josh, and they used to give me that. They can't do that now because of the medication I'm on. That's what they used to do is give me Valium, and then it was helpful. They can't have that now, so. But that's what they used to do. And I'm just kind of eating soft foods and being gentle with it and letting it kind of have time to heal, and hopefully that's all it is for right now. But we shall see. Okay, so that's that. Let's work on this part. Like I said, the hardest part of this is choosing the fabric. The hardest part of this whole thing. I'm actually feeling better that I'm just sitting here and doing this and not thinking about something hurts and I'm tired and See, guys, getting your hands busy talking, taking your mind off stuff does help. Sitting there going, I don't feel the greatest. Does nothing. It does nothing, honestly. Trying to pick like blue different fabrics makes a difference. Hey Lisa, welcome on in. You can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. I think it's too busy. We are doing an art form that we're going to be doing a lot of. I'm not giving up crochet. We're still finally, I think I can go down to the pond, but I haven't been wanting to because I don't want to get the allergies all up in the dither. It's called Kinusaiga, and it is a art form that deals with fabric and foam board. It has only been around since the 1980s, so I am older than it. I just had my birthday. I like that. That's nice. So we're doing it. We're learning together. For sure. This is a learning curve that we're doing. No, that was in 4 pieces. And you're using polystyrene board, not styrofoam. That's one thing. But it is very relaxing. And if you're someone that says, I don't quilt, I don't have fabric, ask your neighborhood. That's where some of the fabric was purchased for us on the Amazon wish list. And I think I'm going to start a new Amazon wish list for this, that if anybody wants to, they can certainly purchase fabric or stuff for letters or, stuff from Amazon. I will start a new wish list. But I've had several people, I know Sandy Wendy's got a project. She's like, oh, I've got to try this. We have a listing here for our that all the products we've used in this. Some are Amazon affiliate links. You have to be very careful if you're going to go back and cut, especially if there's fabric next to it. But we're going to eventually do patterns, sell patterns, do that as well. But this is something I've just fallen in love with. I'm learning. This is the only second one. One hint I'm going to tell you: don't choose some. I chose a real challenging one for myself, and I did because I felt so blessed. But if you're going to do this, don't do your second one and go, oh, let's pick one that has a lot of challenges. I've learned so much from doing this one. But do not pick one that you're sitting there going, oh boy, I could have really done something that was a little easier until I got the hang of it. But I would not recommend it. But have I learned a lot from this one. And I've learned kind of what to do, what not to do. And in your corners, that little trick of just taking it and snipping your fabric a little bit does make a difference. Where you kind of need to do your corners and little areas where you're going to be making curves. It does help. So I would never recommend it to do a project and then start your next project being that.
Nope.
But I've learned a heck of a lot. I've learned what? I know, but I've learned a lot. Oh, don't even go there. What are you growling at, Mocha? That's her Staffy, who just got back from her walk. Can I make her? Can you see her? She goes, there I am. Hi, world. Hi, world. She goes, hi. I'm just chilling. There's Mocha. That's her Staffy. That's my daughter's staffy that we take care of. That's the mocha. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend you doing a project. Sure. Oh, this would be something I would not. But I am so blessed, so grateful. I'm gonna be grandma soon. And I just felt so blessed, and I love that. I just got some modifications, and who knows, it may turn out a lot better than I'm imagining. I have some, I think if I keep the letters the way they are in fabric form on here, I'm going to make them so they're more spread out. That's one thing that I thought, and I wish, I mean, I would tell you the best, if you're good with Canva, you can certainly make your own patterns. You can draw them. Some people are really good with that. I'm not the greatest with that. There needs to be a this art form app for you to be able to create your own patterns. And Sandy, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I sent you a invite for a Facebook group. The only thing is, I do have Chat GPT help with patterns a little bit. They don't allow you. You can submit patterns for people, but they can't be any AI created. I mean, some of this has been, and some of it's been my own little tweaks. It just helps me kind of. And so I've got to get really good with Canva. I am good with Canva. I just got to get really good because that's where I'm going to be creating a lot. I did see somebody take a pattern. It was really cute. And it was like, how did they get, because you can even print on fabric. You can even take your homemade printer and print. And the thing is that you wouldn't have to worry about being washable because this is not something that's going to be washable. So the fact that the print isn't going to do it, but they have fabric that you can print pictures on, which I'm going to get. You can take fabric and print it on your own inkjet printer, which I'm going to do. But then, you wouldn't have to worry about it fading or anything because it's not washable. I would strongly suggest, and I'm probably going to fix this, but like when I redid this pattern, I did all these other things before I hit this one. And I would say, do this first and then do the rest of these. Again, it's all learning, but I did send you a Facebook group because there is a Facebook group. There's not a lot of people in there because this is a very new art form, believe it or not. Very new art form. All right, let's do this over here. Now, see, now this one is a full panel, I think. So people were taking, now that I've got a full one, they were taking their piece that they just got off of there, right? And putting it on the fabric. You want to make sure you're leaving some inches. We gotta, hold on a second, y'all. I gotta get Mama's phone plugged in a little bit, or we're gonna lose power. She's gotta, that's why I bring the charger out here. Her battery is low on the phone. Don't want to do that. So people take your rotary cutter. You want to make sure that you're not doing it exact. You're doing it to give yourself some room because you've got to tuck your fabric in. So you take your rotary cutter. I cannot talk tonight. Rotary cutter, leaving yourself some room if you wanted to do it this way. I still think that, I don't know. I mean, I kind of like doing it. I mean, and people have also taken, it's just so big. I think I need to get like a mini one. I think that's part of the problem with that one, is taking your little piece, right? I think the one thing about doing that is you get your little corners in. Let's see, that didn't work because I cut it. Well, let's do it up here. Okay, no, let's do it down here. I like this part here better. Let's start again. So you're kind of doing it if you kind of go with, because you want to have it, but I'm telling you, if you're going like that, and that's kind of has its own line. And then we're gonna kind of, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've done it this way and I kind of like just putting your fabric there. I think it all depends. It's learning. And I can understand that because then you have that little dip taken care of, but I'm gonna take this and do that little snip right in the middle. Just to kind of give. So this is a Japanese art form. And I mean, I cannot imagine now they do it in where they're doing it in foam, but they used to do it wood. Trying to shake up my juice, get it to melt. Can't imagine them doing this in wood. I think that would be so hard to do. What a great way to use up. And the reason I'm kind of doing the prints first is because we're going to do the solids on the letters and we'll have a better idea of our color scheme. So these scissors are great. And you know, the other thing for me is I'm very much of a perfectionist, and I think when you're learning a skill like this is a skill, this is an art. You have to allow yourself imperfections. You're not going to be perfect. You're learning. Um, and you have to give yourself grace to be able to learn and space to be able to learn. Um, I've seen people do beautiful. I don't think it's something that people can't do. I'm just saying you're going to learn. And every time I do a tuck, every time I cut a piece of fabric, I'm learning, oh, I need to do it this way. I need to do it that way. I need to do it. And you can kind of take, I've noticed if you take your fabric or your seam ripper and kind of put it underneath just a little bit. You don't want to do it too much. Sometimes you can take a piece of fabric and a thing and just lift it up and get one kind of stuck in a place that's not cooperating. Like this here. I just would like to take this and you can take your seam ripper. And what'll happen is I can make a cleaner line doing it that way. So I forgot to text somebody. I gotta do that tonight. Supposed to do it last night. Totally forgot. Too tired. I went to bed. All right. Let's do this side. I really like the floral on it. Looks really pretty. Now I want to do a little bit more of a solid color. Not totally solid, but a little bit more of a solid color for there, because I think it needs it. Stick blue. This will kind. I think this will look good because it'll kind of not. This will be it. I'm going to take this because this was given to me. Got to do cross too. That's the next project we're doing, which is the one I done before I got to this one. But that was not what I was thinking. I'm going to cut all this fringe off so it doesn't get in the mix of. But I've got to. Was hoping to take some of these. I will take whatever projects I work on just so people can know I am also learning this art form, and I will be having stuff for sale down the road. Let's get this here. I'm trying very hard not to mess up my nails either. I've got the problem is I do not want all this fringe. Not that it will matter. I mean, it will cut away, but it's so much at the edge of it that I don't want it to get all mixed up. Hey, Indigo. I cut it too short. Glad you did too. I may have cut that too short. You're welcome. We're gonna do it this way. I need to get a better rotary cutter. This one's fringe off. Need a smaller one for this as well. It's too big for this. Well, I've got enough for the other side. Let's see. All right. Too much. Cooled off enough to open now. It needed a little bit of a solid color, not totally solid. This is kind of solid, but start drying again. Yes, I'm so glad. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of a nudge. I mean, my mom was like, I could never do that. Just start doing something and never have done it before. I'd want to try it out. I was like, well, if I inspire people to kind of go outside their comfort zone a little bit and try something, wonderful. That's the whole purpose of it. I mean, I've done this now and I've really fallen in love with this art form. I really have. And it's just starting for me. Doesn't mean I'm giving up crochet. Still crochet. Don't get me wrong. But this is just also, it's very relaxing. It's very getting some sun. Oh goodness. Oh, you got any praying and you pray not for no rain on Friday. We're doing something special with our family on Friday, and I do not want it to rain. It's not allowed to rain. No rain allowed on Friday. It can come Saturday. It can come Thursday. It can come Wednesday. It can't come tomorrow. No rain allowed. There is supposed to be rain, but every time I check, it keeps changing. I don't think the time that we're going to be doing the thing, it's going to be raining. I hope. So I think I'll cry. Bad enough I got the dates wrong on it to start with. It all worked itself out still. Because it was not raining that day, it was perfect. And I don't really want to wait too much longer on what we need to get done Friday. So, you got any praying in you people? Pray praying. No rain on Friday. But I think it's supposed to rain like in the morning and then not rain, but then it keeps changing literally every 5 seconds. Like literally. That's Ohio weather for you, right? It literally changes every 5 seconds. And I'm not joking either. I'm dead serious. It's changing every 5 seconds. I like that. I needed that solid there. Okay, you've already been for your walk. Wait for my juice to melt. My juice, it is kale, apple, blueberry, orange, and pineapple today. I thought a little bit more vitamin C because the allergies are messing with me. So I took some airborne, but I thought a little bit extra vitamin C. And again, keep your blade out because if you need to go back and cut, just be careful you don't cut your fabric, especially if it's about the only piece of that specific fabric you have. But that way you can go back and make a deeper cut. Well, she asked you in. Yes, I know you can't come up here right now. There's too much stuff. But she opened the door to let you in, and you didn't want to go in. You want to go in Kathy's room? Huh? You want to go in Kathy's room? Just say yes. I can't tell you if she'll go in there now. She's cooled off a little bit. Our lovely neighbor takes her for a walk, so she just got done taking her for a run. She didn't want to go in my mom's room because my mom keeps her room really warm. And I've got knives and material on here, and I really don't want to get her up here and have anything happen. So, Mom, I think she's ready now. I think. Can't totally determine, but I think. Take and snip your ends. That really does help.
You ready for some water, Mocha?
Oh, Mocha, you're too much. Now she goes right in there like nothing. Oh, Lord have mercy. Sometimes I will literally have to If I open the door, she's standing by the door. She wants to go into my mother's room and literally sit there and go like this. What are you waiting for, the red carpet to go and be shown to you, child? Ah, I'm like, okay. It's like sometimes I've had to do that. It's like, okay, I've had to go in the room and then I can close the door behind her with my mom, and it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And she's not that type of dog. I don't know if she got in trouble before we got her, but she's never been one. If the door's closed, even if it's cracked, she won't push it open. She has every once in a while, but she's never done it. She will sit, she will cry at the door, she will do everything under the door, but she will not push that door open. No. She goes, no way. What are you barking at, Mocha, now? She will not. She will not do it. Right now, I have to make a cut here because it's not going to work if I don't. And this is too, while you have your cutter there, you can make small little corrections as you need to. If you need to make a correction, you can. Of course, don't peel your tape off before you do this part. But that's part of learning. Now we have to decide this part. I'm just going to have to do it. Now, what?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm moving that for just a second. Josh needs to go in the closet. My juice is unthawing. Pick it up. Oh, that's good.
Drink your water.
Ice, or not ice, pineapple, orange, blueberry, and kale and apple. I really like kale. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I did. Okay. See if I can get that off of there. I think it'll make a difference. I turned my fabric and didn't realize it, but it'll be fine. Okay. What do I want to do next? Decisions. Oh. By the way, Christina's going to need her nails done again. She called me today. She goes, "Oh, they're already wrecked." I'm like, my nails look pretty good. I think they'll last till Friday. She is so hard on everything. Child. Oh boy. I love her though. Something delicate for there. Don't know what. I'm trying to find different blue fabric. wonder what about this? Because we have the other thing. Think that would work? Yeah. Oh, the lady who did her nails, I made a mistake on the date. That was my problem. I'm sure. I got the dates wrong. So we got our nails done last week, thinking it was going to be Friday, and I got my dates wrong. So lady's going to be kind enough to come in and do them again. I just really didn't want to spend, but I've been trying to be very careful that my nails hold it together until I think they're pretty good until Friday. And then after that, I'd love to get them done all the time. I just don't have the budget for them. I'd love to have them done all the time. I go and get them done, especially because I think, I'm on, especially if we're going to be doing stuff like this, it would be nice to have them done. I just can't. Hold on. I can't afford to cost $35. I can't afford that. I don't know if I got to spend $35 again. Told Christina, she's cut off. Cut off. After this, no more. I'll get them done. I told her I'll get them done every Mother's Day for you, starting next year. But I said I can't do them anymore. She said, I think I'd like a pedicure. I'm like, okay, well, you can choose whether you want a manicure or pedicure every Mother's Day. I will do that, but no more. After this time, I've done them about a couple times because she's had really special events happening that they needed to be done for reasons I can't go into, but still, I won't be. Um, I just kind of kicked myself in the rear because I got them done for my birthday and I got hers done for what we're doing on Friday. When I would have waited and did them this week versus last week, so I didn't have to spend 35 again. But it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. It all worked out in the end. The only thing that we're just making sure that it doesn't do is rain. Yeah, I flipped the dates in my head. I have dyslexia and I saw the text and I flipped the dates and you know, it's just an expense that, I would have liked to not have in my circle right now, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it, so I just gotta make it work, right? And she's really nice. She's done her nails several times in the past little bit. Um, so but like the press on kits. I've never had good luck with press on nails. I remember when I was working, there was a lady I used to work with at Claire's many years ago, many moons ago. She had her nails done. Of course, I was working, so and I was young. I didn't have anybody. I wasn't a mom. I had extra money, and I go get my nail done. It was right at the mall, shopping center, right by the mall, and I go get my nails done every 2 weeks. Get the designs on, but I didn't have anybody. I didn't have a child. I didn't have anybody. I was just taking care of myself and I gave my mom and dad a little bit for rent and I was paying for stuff, but I was a manager working at Claire's. So I was making not like tremendous money, but I was making pretty decent money, for what I was in my 20s. And I was a third key manager and so I was working, and so the girl that I worked with, who was assistant manager, she'd get her nails done. And I always used to love them. And so I went to the same place she did and I got hooked on getting acrylic nails done on, but I wasn't right now we're on a very fixed income. If I could go get my nails done every 2 weeks, absolutely I would be. But because I've never been good about painting my own nails. I've never done well with that at all. So if I could, absolutely 100%. Maybe that's down the road where I can afford to do that. But right now, that's not in the cards. So I was treated. It was my mother's birthday gift to me, was getting my nails done on Friday. And I thought, well, if I've got to, the only thing that I was going to have to do possibly is go get mine done again close here. I was going to find a shop to go in and get my nails done because when you do gels, they're really hard to get the nail polish off. So I knew if my nails didn't last till Friday, I was going to possibly have to go get them done again, someplace close, so that I could have them take the nail polish off because it did. You get gel nails, you just have to kind of let the nail polish kind of do its own thing because they're great. They last. I mean, if I get nails done, it's gel nail polish. I'm not, and I get it for Christina. If I get hers done, it's gel nail polish. But even the gel nail polish, that child, rough, rough, rough on her nails. She's rough on everything. I love her, but she's very rough on a lot of stuff she gets. Like anything I buy her, anything I've always bought her extended warranties because she said that if I got her a phone, it always had protection on it. Even today, she has a phone and they carry protection on it because she's had a couple issues where they've needed to have the phone taken care of. So she's just really rough on stuff for some reason. And so she's just hard on things. And I have protection on my phone because I have carpal tunnel and I tend to drop my phone more than I'd like to. But I have a really, really good case. And for the most part, I haven't had to have anything replaced. Christina's had to have her screen replaced several times. She's just hard on things. It's not that she's not careful. She's careful. It's just she just tends to be rough. She tends to just be it's just the way she rolls. Like I think when I had her phone one time, because we had her phone, and sure enough, I just had her screen replaced. And I think not literally like 2 weeks later, she broke it again. I'm gonna clap you know. And we've been iPhone users from day one. Um, and we're not changing. This is not gonna be we're not changing. We're gonna be iPhone users. And people have their iPhones and not, but I'm not gonna get rid of my iPhone. I like it. Problem is too, is that we have built music up. So we have so does she. She has a huge music library of music because we have bought music over time. I had to move that because it was an issue. I didn't do it long enough on the side. So we've built a whole music library on all of our phones. We've shared music. So it's a huge, you know, thing. You know, our other part of our family uses an Android. But I have never liked Androids. Josh doesn't like Androids. We've just always liked iPhones, and so she even told somebody when they got married, I'll be an iPhone user. I'm not giving up my iPhone, so she said. But we went to the movie theater recently and she had her phone and got caught. It was a total accident. And it got caught underneath the thing and cracked her screen. I had to help her with it. I sent her a new phone. So And two, for people like she does the cosplay stuff. So she is on her phone for her channel. Oh, by the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed to her, please do. She is literally like, I think, one second. She's like 25 away from 500 on that channel. I'd love to see her get to 500 if she ever wants to go and do the work. It's needed to get it to where it needs to be. She has a lot of her shorts get really good attention. Not enough to be monetized, in the way that needs to be because she needs such a large amount of views. To get monetized on your shorts, but still, she's not that far away. And I'd love to be able to get her to the point of she'd have 500 if she ever chooses to go that route. So you're just tucking it down. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect, especially as you're learning. Especially if you're learning how to do stuff. I didn't think I'd like the kale in it. It's like I want the kale in it now. I have spinach up there. I just haven't really tried it yet. Just the kale was easy to get to, and I was running a little behind on the live. I thought, let me grab the kale. So I think that's looking really good. For sure. I'm loving all the blue pieces up there. Okay. Let's try a letter. I'm risking a letter now that I've kind of got myself warmed up to it. Let's see, we did that one. What do you think of this? It's a little different than some of the blues. No, that's too washed out. Don't like it. Or I'm not necessarily a yellow person, but I want blue next to it. Do we like this? I think so. Or do we like that? No. Ugh, no. That's not right. Nope. You can tell but a minute I stuck it down. I had to put this fan on because it gets so hot in this corner. Oops. Nice. What do you think of this with that blue? Find it. I'm not finding it yet. I don't know if that's the color. Oh, I think I just found it. The problem is it's too washed out. Let's do it. That's the blue. Or do we do? Oops. I'm pulling the colors in from. Do we do this? near that? What do you think? Do the yellow near there or do this where we do kind of a blue? I think you may see through that yellow and crimson. Do you think that we do this and then this? The blue first or do this way? Which way? The yellow first or the blue first? Blue or yellow? Put in the chat. Which one would look better first? I'm thinking the blue would look better first and then the yellow. Yeah. I think the other blues, they wash. I think if I did like this lighter blue, I think it washes, I don't know, washes it out too much. The darker blue looks better. Number 1 blue, olive's good, or number 2 blue. I don't know. I think I'm maybe liking that little blue because I think this would look better if you kind of have like, that's pretty. So is it better to go with this one or the lighter one? No, I'm kind of liking the lighter one. Because we've got so much of this other blue up here. I think it does a contrast. We're going to go with the lighter. You let me know. The darker or the lighter blue. I'm thinking of the lighter blue kind of. That's a really pretty blue with that. Because there's so much of this other blue up here. But I'm thinking it's just too much of this. It's too much of that blue. You need a contrast. Yeah. We're going with this. Right or wrong decisions. It's not right. It's not wrong. Let's put it that way. None of it's wrong. It'll all work itself out. Yeah, I agree. There's just too much of that other blue. It'll take away from there if we do that. I made a cut in this because I just knew if I didn't, I was never going to get this L situated in here. Yep, that was the right call. It gave a contrast to not have a dark blue or the same blue that's in everything else. When we go up to Indiana, if we go, I'll have to do a couple Christmas projects for a family up there. I'm going to show you all, and I put them in the thing because you can, just as long as you make sure, and I made sure when I did it that it said polystyrene because I want to do Christmas ornaments with this and pumpkins with it. think it will look really cool. So just taking those little edges and putting them in. So I mean, I'm not saying that's why I said to myself, I was like, I'll just get rid of this one and we'll just go to the cross. I'm like, no, you have to finish it because you've got to see where it's not a failed. It's just you have to see where you have to make your corrections in the pattern. That's all. I can see where, oh, well, I probably need to, maybe if I'm going to do the letters and keep them the way I'm doing them, I need to space them out a little bit more. You know, they definitely need to be cut in certain places that would make the fabric easier to get into. So it's not a fail, it's just learning. But I think a lot of people, in my way of thinking, is I think they do a project, they're learning how to do it, and then they just throw up their hands and say, I'm not good at this. And then what happens is a lost opportunity for you to see, you don't know what the future is going to hold with that. And, you know, watching my journey with crochet, and I'm like, you know, Mary, you can't give up yet because, first of all, your community's not going to let you. But you have to remember how you were with your crochet. And every tuck, I think I'm getting better. Every little piece, I'm getting better. It's getting better and better. And it's just part of learning the art. I'm going to recut that. It's not totally straight. Then I may get into the same position I was before. And that's what I want to teach you all, is take on an art and learn it. And the guy, I showed it to David, and he was like, what is that? He said, that is so good. He said, that's your first one? And everybody at church was like, I showed it to because I brought the first one I ever did. So I said, anybody at church, you got scrap fabric, I'll take it. And they were like, oh my gosh, that's so good. That's the first one you've done. And it really kind of lifted me up. But pick simple, not pick difficult. You'll throw your hands up if you do. Absolutely. I think people just expect to do their first project when they're learning something and just be good at it instead of going, okay, is it the best I could do? No. But I think for my second one, for somewhat of a little bit of a challenging pattern, I've done pretty good. I haven't done terrible yet. I mean, and I have not seen anybody do letters. So I have looked and I'm like, I have not seen one person do letters yet. I know why now, but it's a challenge of how do you make that work? There's a way to make it work, but I have not seen anybody do letters yet. So may I be the first one? Maybe, I don't know. But somebody online was like, somebody did it, found a dog. And I guess they had a similar dog to that looked like that. Somebody said, oh, did you print that on your printer? And she said, no, I just found it. I just cut out the dog and it looked like it. So it was really cute. Like, you know, we're probably going to have to do a mocha at one point. And when I get to these little corners, I do find it helpful to snip a little bit. And, you know, the lint roller will get these little shavings off. I get a little like fabric, just don't worry about it. No, come on. And I would also not sit here for hours and hours and hours, which it is really easy to do because you do one and you go, oh, wait, let me see what this next piece will look like. And you find yourself after a while going like this and you're going, oh, I'm all stiff and sore. Don't sit here for hours. And if you're going to get discouraged, if you're going to get yourself going, oh, I can't think what to do next, walk away, do something else for a while, come back that day or come back the next day. You may get a creative thing. You may see it in a different light if you need to. Don't sit there and say, I've got to work on the whole thing. I did it the first time. I'm glad we sat and did it the first time, but I will never sit for the amount of hours I did before because I was really sore and I can't do that for that length of time. And, but I'm really glad we did. So we welcomed my birthday in the way we did, but get up and walk around, get up and take a walk, do things that may change the way you look at it when you come back again. So just my little suggestion box, my little soapbox. Not a bad L. Could be better, yes, but not bad. And you can have I have a lint roller someplace around here. I just want to stick in. Take yours. But when I get done, I'll take a lint roller. And that's a good way to clean them too. You just have a lint roller. I like the L there. I'm glad we went with a smaller fabric now. Well, I'm challenging myself. Let's figure out this little piece here. I'm taking a walk on the wild side, right? And I'm going to get a pair of tweezers. I've got one, but I need a pair. Because when you're trying to pull out those little ones, it will make sense. So well, I sit here for a minute thinking of what to do for that section, which I have no idea what to do. Have some juice. It's 8:00. I'm sitting there for 2 hours. The time just before you know it, you're like, oh. So good. So good. Okay. I'm going to figure out that hole. I'm going to finish my juice. I'm going to get off here shortly and go rest a little bit. Finish some more soap caddies. I wouldn't want to do something that's too wild for that. I think I want to do something that has the purple. Definitely want tiny. Where's that? This is the one. Because it's kind of got those little tiny flowers. It'll be perfect for right in that little spot. It'll just be tiny enough. Wish me luck, guys. I'm going in. Wish me luck. But I'm just saying, this is a craft you could very well sit for hours and look up and go, oh, put on your music or put on a podcast or something. Really lost in it for sure. And I would just caution against that because you don't want to get too sore. You also, you want to, this is not any of these projects unless it's like really quick. You're not going to get done you know, they're not going to happen in a day. You know, they're going to take a couple of days. Now I'm in a little crevice here, so I'm going to take this and just give a little snip kind of right where I need it to fold in. That was a trick I've learned. Definitely the perfect little thing. It's got a little hint of purple, but it's a nice little net in there. I think I did the right call on that. And when you're doing little spaces, I've also noticed you've got to be very delicate, because this is not a time to rush through the little spaces, because it's easy to rush through it, but then what you're going to do is you're going to damage the fabric. Or not fabric. Well, you can damage the fabric, but you're going to ruin the integrity of the board. So when you're working in little spaces, take your time. Do not rush it, because it will ruin the integrity of it. And so you literally have to kind of, if you take your time just to kind of get it in there, you'll get it in there one little bit at a time. Don't rush it. And not that I've done a lot of tiny little spaces, but I'm learning that just from doing this space. If I rush it, some of the bigger spaces you don't have to be so delicate, but in these little tiny spaces you need to take your time, because otherwise, I mean, this insulating board is pretty hardy. That's why, like, the styrofoam will not hold. So the insulated board is, well, it's a little, it's tough. It's not at all weak, and that's just it's got some grit to it, for sure. But you need to just kind of go through, and I'm having to really kind of make sure that I'm getting a little fraying there happening right in that little spot. But and what you could kind of do there, because I'm going to see where it's going to start fraying on me, but I don't know if there's a way to fix that without me pulling this up, and then I think I'm going to damage it, is I'm going to leave that just the way it is. And I'm going to take a little bit of my glue, my little quick dry glue, right? I'm going to use my little end of my seam ripper here, put a little glue on my thing. And I needed to cut the fabric, but I'm afraid if I take it out, I'm going to really destroy the piece. And then so I take a little bit of my glue on the seam ripper, and this will dry clear, but this will also prevent it from fraying on that end. Because you're not going to notice it, and if I take this up, just the position of where it is, I'm going to ruin it. Just see it. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the glue. You won't notice it. And we're just going to take it, and we're going to literally just taking it. It's going to fill in the gaps for me. And I'm paying attention to where the fraying is happening. And it helps too that the color right here it's kind of a purple board, because it's kind of covering up that little mistake. But anyway, that would be a trick for sure, because then you're preventing the fabric from fraying, and you're getting it locked into place. Because if I pull this out, it's going to be ruined. Because it's just, so, and that will dry very quickly, and you won't be the wiser. So just another trick. If you're going to get into a small space and you're like, if I take that out, I'm going to fray the piece. That'll weather. You have to do weather beforehand. You do weather before. Well, I can tell you what ours is. It's not winter. There we go. So that is a great trick. Have a little glue. Just use your seam ripper. This is the glue I got. And then you can kind of fix a little area that I'm just like, if I pull this up, it's going to be a mess. It's going to destroy the entire piece. I don't think for our first little tiny piece area, I did half bad. Kind of impressed with my little self. Problem is too, is that unfortunately this little piece really kind of got hammered. It did, it got hammered. So I'm trying to keep its integrity, but that's a trick I found. Put it underneath the piece and just lift it up a little bit. And some pieces that and it will hold its shape. Some pieces that kind of get a little bit ruined, kind of get their integrity back. And I'm gonna have to just be. I think for our small little piece, I did pretty good. I'm very impressed. I was very nervous about that. I was petrified of it, actually. Quite frankly, I was like, I'm never going to make it. But it looks nice. That's a trick. Get a little bit of glue, use your seam ripper. I don't know if you could see it. It was right here, right in this little crevice. It started ripping. And I thought, if I pull this out, it's going to be a wreck. So I just took the glue and I just put it in there, and it's quick dry. It's not going to move now. Now, if it frays a little bit, you're not going to notice it, but it shouldn't. It's a great trick to learn. Another tool, just use your seam ripper. It's glue, it'll come off easily. Wonder the L, I should do something because we're going to do yellow and blue next to it. That would be kind of pretty, and it's got a little bit of that blue in it. I think this is the one we're going to go with. It's got a little bit of the blue, especially if I do this section over here, or do maybe, trying to find a section with, oh, here. We do this section. It's got a little bit of the blue. A little, it's not going to show. Excuse me. This section, right? I'm going to find the section I want. Right there. It's got a little bit of the blue, like right here. I moved this line that I was cutting. Gotta make sure that this is kind of in to some degree. Hmm. Kind of like this. At least I'll get some of it. And this fabric that I'm using is on the Amazon wish list thing, or the one of the fabrics that was gifted to us. I will say that I'm looking for, and I've got to go to the craft store. I looked at Walmart, and you can get basting iron on if things are a little bit too thin, or being able to put sheer material on, like if you wanted to do tulle or something like that, you could. I just need to look for one that's maybe just spray on or something that doesn't require ironing. But I'm getting a small iron from Walmart on next month. So if I needed to use that, I could iron, or if I needed to iron and smooth something out, I could. So I'm going to be getting a little iron from Walmart. See, this is a part where we kind of need to cut here because we're not gonna, and kind of cut up here to get it in. And this is where too, you put that little cut right in here in order to, oh, I don't know how many people have seen it. I've seen it. You take Jello and Greek yogurt and you put it in, I guess you're supposed to put it in the refrigerator. I put ours in the freezer. We use plain yogurt. I would say if you're going to do it, put a little honey in it. I use Jello and cherry. Yeah, so do I. They're all beautiful. They're a mixture of good, new and old. I did cherry and I used plain yogurt. I would say use put a little honey in, or they have that honey vanilla by, I think it's Greek Goddess or something. It's really good. It's like one of my favorites. So we did that. We put it in, and it's kind of like fluff. I think you're supposed to put it in the refrigerator. I thought the freezer, and I put mine in the freezer. Then I had to mix some more yogurt and a little bit of honey. And Josh liked it. But you take the Jello and you put it in. You boil the gel. You boil a cup of water. Then you take a cup of yogurt. You put it into the Jello while it's hot. You wait for about 5 minutes after you do the Jello. You take the Jello, you heat it up. You wait about 5 minutes, and you take a cup of Greek yogurt, and you put that in the Jello. And they said I thought they said the freezer, but it didn't come out that consistently. And I'm like, maybe it was the refrigerator, not the freezer. So I guess it's supposed to go in the freezer. I didn't know. I put it in mine in the freezer. I mean, you could, it was cold, but I ended up having to put it in the food processor and then add more yogurt to it. And we also added honey to it because it was a little tart. So I would probably try that Greek yogurt. It's Greek, I think it's by Greek Goddess or something like that. And it's honey vanilla, which would already have the honey in it. It's delicious. So Josh tried it. You don't really taste the Greek yogurt. I mean, for people like, oh, I wouldn't like it because I don't like Greek yogurt. Josh doesn't always like Greek yogurt. But it was actually pretty good. Wasn't terrible. Now, see, there's a little fray mark here. And I put my little, I don't know what I did with my little paper with the glue and it flipped. So I'm going to take this just to hold it down, take my little seam ripper. This will dry clear. And as a preventative measure, I mean, I don't need to do this on everyone, but because of the angle I'm going in with this one, I'm going to take my glue and this will go down there and it's going to dry quickly, but if I tear this out again, I'm going to be in a problem. So if you're going to have a tricky spot or one that's kind of like this one where I just know it's going to fray, or there was no way not to do it short. That was the problem. I didn't have enough. So I'm going to take a little bit of this glue. It dries quickly, and I'm going to put it in this little spot here just to kind of, you're giving it a little bit of a, you don't need to, but it's going to prevent it, especially in those little corners, from coming up. I would absolutely, it makes it much cleaner. Just take your little seam ripper and put the glue. It's a great little trick. And now I know that low part is not going to come undone because I have sealed it to some degree in there. Do the same cut there just so I can get it down this side, down this side. And just with the small areas, just work don't rush the small areas, I'm telling you. This is why you've got to just kind of work. We still have accomplished a lot today, despite me maybe not being totally on my game. But I'm so glad I came out and did this with y'all because I feel better. Still kind of feel, I just am tired today. There's just no other way around it. And we were just, yesterday was hoping to usually on Mondays, I just crash. I'm tired. We've had church. We've been busy. We had a busy weekend. It's my birthday. And so I just crash. And I didn't really have an opportunity to do that yesterday. So it doesn't help. And I think I needed today to some degree just to kind of take it easy and not really do much. That's what I felt like I needed to do. I think we definitely made the right call by putting the letters in solid colors. That was Rich's suggestion. I think it was absolutely the right call because it would have been too distracting to have colors. There we go. Well, I'm sure glad I didn't give up on you, Blessed. I'm sure you all didn't give up. I'm sure glad talk. I'm glad you guys didn't give up on me. That is coming together a lot better than I thought it was going to, especially with these little tiny areas.
Oh, it's coming along.
It's coming along. There's still a little bit of changes, but it's
progress.
It's coming along one step at a time, one piece of fabric at a time. Guys, I wear snow. I love snowmen. I would wear snowmen all 365 days. This is so good. And I think our watch hours are 2,280. They were 2,300. But of course, they went down again because they're going a YouTube way. So, any help with that, guys? Just have our stuff running in the background, stuff you haven't seen. Please, 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 please. We want to get back to monetization. We're going to party. Let's do this side. I'm going to stop pretty soon here. But it's so hard to do because you're like, oh, let me see about this. Oh, it really becomes that part of you that goes, oh, but I just have one more piece. One more piece, one more piece, one more piece. Yes. Yes. I just want help with it. I just want to get back to monetization. Let's see. Said the hardest part is finding out which fabric you're going to choose from. That's the hardest part. Because you also don't want it too busy, but you kind of want it in. That's the hardest part. I'm thinking about doing this because I'm thinking that like maybe like I wouldn't want to do it the whole way, but that carrying this the same thing, it won't make it too busy to kind of carry it. What do y'all think? I think that's what we're gonna do because I don't want it too busy. It gives the dots of the purple without it being overwhelming. So we can do it kind of all the way down, all the way at least here, at least this part. I can change it to something else on the next, but because it kind of goes here, but it's not too busy because that section's kind of already busy. You know what I mean? I've kind of gotten over steaming about the fact that I couldn't even have the whole situation looked at. They couldn't figure it out. They couldn't even look to say, oh, yeah, you did. And I'm like, YouTube, you should make sure that if somebody hits that button that says they're leaving the program, they're hitting the word confirm. Mocha, she has my fabric. You bring me back. Leave it. Good girl. Good girl. Maybe mom can pick up the fabric while I'm petting her and telling her that she's a good girl because she grabbed the fabric when you weren't supposed to. Silly girls. She'll give you a treat. I knew she was going to get that. Thank you. This little piece of fabric she was getting a hold of, little stinker. She's pretty good about letting it go. When you tell her she knows she's not supposed to. She knows she's hoping to get a treat. She great. It was funny because when my daughter was dating my son-in-law and he lost a button, and I said to him, when you leave, I know who's going to find it. And sure enough, she did.
We looked and looked and looked. Nobody could find it.
My mother lost her earring. She couldn't find it. Who found it? And it was the smallest thing in the bathroom. She did. My mother's like, of all the things, she found it. If she had been raised correctly, she'd have been a great search and rescue dog. Her sniffer is, if she had been raised and not abused, she'd have been an amazing search and rescue dog. But some idiot had to be mean to her and then forget it. Believe me, I can tell you, she could have been. Now these ends here, I know it looks, but first of all, I'm gonna glue that down just to prevent it from coming up. That's the first thing. And we're going to be putting something around it. You could put ribbon around it. I just want to make sure it kind of holds. Doesn't come up. Thinking I'm going to do the same thing here and here. Because I just thinking that it would look better to have, because it's not really totally busy. It's not a busy pattern. Yeah. So I've been called my entire life is Eagle Eye. We went to take my grandmother, who was not happy about leaving her house. Nobody is, but she needed to come and move in with my parents. She was just getting older and she needed to move. She didn't want to move, but she needed to. And she was leaving to come, and of course, my mother and I are nervous wrecks. She had really not made the weeks leading up to this very easy to deal with. And so anyway, we're there. My mother's like, well, we can't leave with my grandmother. My mom couldn't, because we couldn't find her hearing aid. And sure enough, I found it. It's on the floor. I think she did it on purpose.
I did too.
And we just said, you're just leaving. Remember the house as it was.
You gave her 2 weeks.
Gave her 2 weeks. Her brother-in-law at the time called her and talked to her and said,
Spent months taking
Oh.
her to assisted livings because she wanted to live.
oh, let me tell you, she was a spitfire, my grandmother. And one time she was at assisted living.